Okay, here we are on to chapter 28. I met Detective Sergeant Jenkins 3 blocks from Beaupre Park, and he gave me the old tricycle he had saved from when his young son, Jeremy, was 3 years old. It was still in excellent condition, really almost like new, for something over 20 years old. Detective Jenkins, I remarked in surprised tone, the bike looks brand new. This is awfully nice of you to give it away. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, this must mean a lot to you if you've kept it all these years. Bob, it's all right, replied Jenkins. If some kid can get some use out of it now, that's better than waiting for what might never be. Go on ahead and take it and get to the game. We've got stuff to do. I took the tricycle and headed off down the street to Beaupre. I hoped that Dwight liked the bike and that no one was offended by the gift. Sometimes pride can be a problem. I put his faith in that all would turn out okay. When Dwight saw me coming, he took off running in my direction. His eyes were as big as saucers. He must have thought it was Christmas Day. I placed it on the asphalt and picked up Dwight and put him in the seat. Dwight took off toward his grandmother as if he was born on the bike. She bent over at the knees to catch him as he forgot he didn't know how to slow down and almost ran over her. This was very nice of you, said Esther. Dwight hasn't been this happy in months. Now he can ride with the other children who have bikes too in the neighborhood. She reached over and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Thank you, she said again. You're very welcome, I said blushingly. It's a gift from a friend of mine. I'll tell you about him someday. Maybe you'll even get a chance to meet him. I hope so. I think you would like him. I hope so too, she replied. I'm sure I will. Hey, man, nice wheels for my kid, said Mookie as he walked over to greet me. You're all right for a cracker, he added as he slapped me on the back. Come on, we got a game to play. They took off and they began to make warm-up drills with alternating sides shooting and rebounding. This lasted for about 15 minutes, with Coach McKay breaking us all up and starting 5-on-5 to begin to freelance shooting while the rest rebounded. The last 15 minutes everybody was shooting. Coach called us over with 5 minutes before the game. The officials were standing across the court. They were ready to go. Okay, men, said McKay. Could we at least try some of our set plays, if only for the benefit of Mr. Lawler here? And could we at least try and play some defense so that we're not totally out of the game by halftime? Let's go, give it up. The players all put their right hands up into the center of the circle and gave a big whoop as they broke out into the court. McKay looked at me. I wish for once they would listen and just try some of what we show them. They do have some talent, just not enough to play one-on-one all night. Maybe tonight's the night, Coach, I say, trying to keep a positive spin on tonight's game. Maybe they will surprise you. Well, it would be that, said McKay, a big surprise. The game began with the opposing Dragons winning the tip. But as they tried to work the ball up the court too quickly, Mookie stole a long sideline pass and hit Marvin in full stride for an easy breakaway 2 points and an early lead. The crowd leaped to its feet with excitement. The Dragons missed their first 3 attempts at baskets as the Knights were perfect, really playing some tough defense. And then we were breaking out to a lead of 8-0 to lead the Dragons, Coach calling timeout, throwing a towel down on the pavement in disgust. The Knights and their fans were reeling with excitement. After all, the Dragons were leading the league with 20 wins and only 2 losses. Coach McKay reminded them not to do too much too soon. Keep looking for the open shot. There's no need to rush anything as we don't have a time clock. Let the Dragons feel the pressure to catch up, and he reminds the Knights the defense will win the games, and we might even get some real easy free throws. The Knights continued their assault on the Dragons. I entered the game with about 8 minutes left in the half, and the crowd on the Dragons memorized with my passing and ball handling. I caused 3 Dragons players to lose their dribble and added 2 steals of inbound passes. I took only 1 shot a three-pointer, which I made, but I added 5 assists, and they were more important. The Knights closed out the half on fire with a lead of 48-26. The crowd couldn't believe it. Quite frankly, neither could Coach McKay. He walked over to the team as it cooled down at halftime. He was afraid to say too much, not wanting to jinx the team in any way. He just kind of stood there, dumbfounded. "Hey, Coach," said Mookie, "say something. You look like you've seen a ghost or something," he added, smiling. "Ghost? Nothing," said McKay. "Did you see that team out there? Where in the heck have you guys been?" "Very funny," said the coach, said Marvin. "We just decided to close out the season with a bang." "Well, that sounds about right," I add. "This was nothing. Wait till the Dragons see us come out in the first 3 minutes of the second half." The team all looked at me like I was nuts. They may have thought I was, but I knew better. They were all wondering how they could play any better than this than they did in the first half. "What are you talking about, Cracker?" said Marvin. "You been smoking some strange stuff before the game or what?" "No, not me," I said. "The way great teams put away their opponents is early. We should put on a full court pressure defense and fast break our offense for the first 3 minutes of the second half. Whatever plans they are making for high percentage patient offense, that will all go out the window." If they stay as cold as they were the first half, we could reel off another 10 points before they know what hit them. If that happens, they will be on their heels the rest of the night, and they will never catch us up as we become very patient and work down the clock, I conclude. "Coach," said Mookie, "that makes sense to me. What do you say?" "Sounds good to me," said McKay. "You must work the press hard and be ready to intercept sloppy, court-edge passes like you did to open the game. If they beat us down the court, we will be the ones with egg on our faces, not them. Okay, let's go out there, shoot a few free throws, and get loose for the second half. Remember, if you don't have a good shot, kick it back out. That's partially why you did so well the first half. You guys shot over 80% in the half. Not too shabby," finished McKay. The crowd cheers as the Knights retook the court for the warm-up. That had never happened before. They all smiled at each other, and they liked it. The Dragons were warming up at the other end. They took turns looking at the Knights, almost seemed intent on eyeballing Bob. They were probably wondering where this cracker came from anyway. The second half began like I hoped, with the Dragons fully unprepared for the full court pressure they were seeing. The first 7 times resulted in either turnovers or steals by the Knights. The additional 14 points put the Knights up 64-26, and another Dragon timeout. The crowd was delirious with joy and amazement. I opened the second half on the court to lead the pressure and sank 2 3-pointers that hit nothing but net and sent the crowd a-buzzing. Once I made one with the Dragon player draped all over me, but not a foul was called. I hoped that the second half was not going to find the Dragons taking out their frustration with a physical, nasty second half game. I was hoping to get out of this game with no trouble, but that was not to be. I was soon to find out that these games were more than just games to some.